Okay, for this video, what I'd like to show you guys is how to use the work equation, which you should already be somewhat familiar with. And then we've got two versions of the power equation. It just involves a little substitution. So we'll take a look at those as we go. Labels. Work we label in a joule or a Newton times a meter. Force is in newtons. Oops, let's make that look a little better. Distance is in meters, time is in seconds, and power is in watts or joules per second. And we can even break that one down even further, and we can go Newton meter per second. So those are our labels for the different things that we have. And our new one here, we can put it up here. So we've got three different labels there, and you see them in the green and the red. Power is the P, and it's measured in watts. We've seen W for work. We've seen force, distance, and time. We've seen that already. As far as our two equations, you guys, I've got one here. I'll box it in orange. And then we've also got this one in green, and I want to show where that comes from because we have two different equations for power. So if I come over here, here's the original equation. Power equals work divided by time, and that equation works just fine. We can do that, but if we back up a step, we saw last time that work equals force times distance. And since work equals force times distance, what I can do is I can take this and I can substitute it for that W. And so what that ends up looking like, I still have power. It's still divided by time, but now instead of putting a W on top, I'll take F times D. And so we've got two different ways that equation can look. Either way, we're still looking at being measured in watts or joules per second or Newton times meters per second. So this is the first time we've seen three different labels, and that's what we have for the different equations. Number one is fairly simple. It's saying 600 newtons, that's force, and 3 meters is distance. It says find the work. So there's my question mark. I know the force, and I know the distance. And so now I would just use the work equation. So that's a similar to what we've already done. And so you can go ahead and solve that from there. Pause the video if you'd like. I'm going to go over to number 2. 2 says car performed 40,000 joules of work. So that's work. This, of course, is time, and it's saying find the power. And so the equation that I'll use here, P is my unknown. Work equals and time, and since it's giving me the work, I'll just use work divided by time, fill in my numbers, and solve from there. Again, pause the video if you'd like. Let's maybe look. 5 tends to cause some issues. Number 5, let's see, 500 joules, that's work. 10 meters, that's a distance. That's mass. 200 kilograms is mass. How much force? So force is my question mark. I know work is 500 joules, and I know distance equals 10 meters. My equation Whoops. So it looks like I don't need this, the 200 kilograms. I don't need that. I don't need mass anywhere, so that's not necessary. So it's there. I just don't need it. And now for this equation to find force, you guys know, got to get F by itself. Solve that for F, and you can calculate what that is. You have enough information. So in terms of these problems, fairly straightforward in terms of how to use them. There they are. I've gotten several started, and from there you should be able to do the rest on your own. I think there's a couple conversions as well, and that's pretty typical. You guys know how to do those. So there's just some samples of how to do the power formulas, and throwing in some work ones as well from last time.